they say all men are created equal. Shaq Master! I'll pull out the Glock. Full of suffering, succotash, son.
It's one of your nuts hanging out of your shorts.
Real glass.
You have a father, but your father's dead.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Too Sweet podcast with Lucy and Estelle. Oh, welcome to all the new people. We've had a nice influx of new subscribers on YouTube since our vlog went up from Forbidden Door weekend. If you've not seen that yet, definitely go and watch it. It's a lot of fun, and it basically summarises what an amazing weekend we had. But before we get into this week's Dynamite, should we talk a bit about Forbidden Door?
I mean, where do you begin?
I know.
I don't have my mic. I don't even have my mic. I'm talking. I'm like, I don't even have my fucking mic in hand.
Is your mic definitely on?
I'm dying.
I could hear you really well just then, even before you had hold of it.
Yeah, the mic's on.
Okay. Well, we could still hear you, so it's all good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very loud.
Oh yeah, that's clearer now. Actually, yeah. Okay, where
right.
do we even begin? It was a wild weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, from start to finish, I think the vlog pretty much encompassed our experience really well. Lucy edited it and did a fantastic job, I thought. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that, like I said, don't know if it came across in the vlog, but our seats were so close. Like, I knew it was going to be the closest that I was ever going to get to an AEW ring. Apart from, in the future when Lucy and a continuous networking and we get our little VIP stickers and we're on that front row.
Yes,
one day, baby, manifest. But yeah, it was just crazy. Like, we could see
We're so overwhelmed, weren't we,
everything.
as soon as we sat down. Like, as soon as we walked down the
We just
steps.
kept going.
Yeah.
I was like working at the cinema and like I kept thinking we're at the back and oh no, not that one, not that. I was like, no, this is too much. Like, we need to sit down. Like,
It's too good to be true, yeah. And it's like, again, I think like on the camera it maybe doesn't look as close as what it was in real life, because that's obviously the effect of like a camera and stuff. But and to some people it wouldn't be close. Like to some people they'd be like, oh, I was on the floor and it was the best view ever. And but to us it's like, yeah, the closest we've been, and it was just the perfect view. It was really clear. Obviously, as short girlies, we don't really want to be on the floor anyway, because then we'd struggle to see over tall people, and it was just perfect. We did have like the camera thing in front of us, didn't we? I don't even think we've sort of discussed that. I think at first it sort of threw me off a little bit, and I was like trying to look around it, but then you sort of just get used to it, I think.
I thought it was absolutely fine. I remember like panicking the night before because I looked at the seating map and it had that grey black top square, and I was like, oh, that's going to be where that camera is. But I don't know. I feel like because where we were angled, you could kind of see over it, and it wasn't really moving around that much or used in matches. But yeah, I mean, we could see every facial expression. I could see the sweat on people's skin. Yeah. I could hear the ref calls. It was crazy. Like, the previous 2 years, I think I've definitely watched the screen more. I always try and watch the ring, because even when you're really far away in the nosebleeds, it's like, oh my God, that's like, it's really happening right now, and you want to feel like a part of it. But obviously when it gets to more technical sports or,
especially the first year that we went, like it was really quite difficult to see the ring because we weren't.
Yeah. So, but this year we didn't. I didn't like hardly use it at all. And yeah, the view was just amazing. And I also loved the arena. It was a lot more condensed, and I thought I was really going to miss Wembley, but I think I'm actually going to miss the O2 next year, because I just loved how compact the crowd was. Every chant, we were all in on it together. And yeah, it just felt like we were all united.
Yeah.
And it was also just a lot easier, which I already knew before because I'd been to the O2, but it was like as soon as you were there, you were there. Like, you didn't have to walk to the O2. Like with Wembley, you with like the amenities, the bar, box park and all that, and then you walk to Wembley, and then depending on where your section is, that can be quite a walk. And I'm nervous. Like, I like to be in places early. Like, I like to be waiting for my train. That's a lie, actually. I like to in theory, but I'm always running late. But I know that I run
The
late, so
idea's there.
I like to always be. It makes me anxious, right? Timing makes me anxious, but our timing was really bang on. And also, as I say, I like the O2 because yeah, it was just really easy to get to, especially with the help of the Amex Lounge.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Amex Lounge.
that was as we said on the vlog, like a big stroke of luck. So my friend Hannah um recently has paid all her visa fees and now is now a British citizen, and she used an American Express card to do that. So she had loads of points which she used to get into the lounge at the O2, and she said, "Oh, I can just get you to a pass and you can come in with me." I was like, "What the hell?" Like this wasn't even planned in advance at all. She just texted me on the day, which was great because like when just before doors were about to open, like the queues built up massively, didn't they? And it was very overwhelmingly busy. Even though I agree with you, I did prefer the O2 to Wembley for many reasons. It was because it's so much smaller. That moment was very compact, and I feel like I felt very lucky that we didn't have to queue because I feel like that would have been not a pleasant experience. But yeah, shout out to Hannah for that. She a real one.
She is, and I'd love to know as well how people found getting in because yeah, that queue was pretty killer. I don't know what it was like for the nosebleeds, but I think it what gate was it? Was it gate
B,
B or
yeah.
P? Yeah, we were gate B, and yeah, it seemed a lot more overwhelming than Wembley, but again, it's so much bigger. There's more gates, more. I I don't
People are
know.
dispersed at Wembley, aren't they?
Yeah,
Which
exactly. So I'd love
in
to know
some
how long
senses
it
is
took
good.
people to get in.
Yeah, in some senses that's good because I remember we didn't really wait around at Wembley. You just sort of go straight in. But yeah, it was so much easier to get around the O2, and like we got there really early and we could literally do everything we needed to. We got like a coffee, we got merch, we queued up for both merch stands, and
Oh
we
yeah,
went
we
and
did.
we went and got lunch, and we had a drink. We had a drink in the lounge when we got in. We had loads of time to do all these things. So yeah, it was nice. I loved the O2. It was the atmosphere was awesome, and having that view was just great. It was amazing, amazing.
Yeah, and also Jeff Jarrett's podcast. I think we went over that in good detail. We gave a a review, but that was just wow, pinch me moment. It's just something totally different. It's like Nigel when we got to see Nigel's magic show. There's just something about seeing him in that kind of small, intimate environment where it's very relaxed and casual, and that was just fantastic. Totally exceeded my expectations of what I thought it was going to be. I was very pleasantly surprised. And yeah, the after party was interesting.
Yeah, quite heavy on the WWE music, which if they were like good songs wouldn't matter. You know, if you're getting lit, it doesn't really matter what sort of wrestling song it is. But like that wasn't really the case for the majority of the time.
It was just like the
Um,
most random ones, like EO.
yeah, yeah, Io
Is
Sky.
her name EO Sky? Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it was EO Sky, but then I was like, that just didn't sound right. But yeah, EO Sky. I was
Yeah,
like
she
EO
changed
Sky,
her
like,
name, so
but her theme in like full, like you don't need to hear that instrumental in full, just like 20 seconds. And it was Taz, and it was like 20 Tazes in front of me. Then it was Triple H after Swerve Strickland had left the stage. It was just, I think in total they played about like three AEW songs from when we were there, and we were there for I want to say like a good 2 hours,
yeah,
of or over a good 2 hours.
yeah, because we didn't rush to get there, did we? We went and got a snack and then went back, and because the queue was quite long, it was pretty busy. And then yeah, it must have been like 2 hours, and pretty much after Swerve left the stage, we also vacated the building. But we also saw Nigel doing some magic, which was fun. And yeah, just with the special guests, I guess that's what you pay the ticket price for. But I don't know if I would go again.
Yeah, I think we've been both years. The first year was really cool because it was like the first time they'd done it, and it was even though the venue was shocking and horrendous, it was very small. So we were practically like only a few rows from the stage, and the stage wasn't like it was at this I think it's called O2 Indigo or something. So it was like, and literally Swerve crowd surf, which he didn't do this time. Thank God, because man's be injured. But yeah, I think that was it was just a really cool experience this time. Then the second time was cool just to see it in a better venue. Felt like they kind of knew what they were doing a bit more.
Bit more
But
organised.
the special guests were good. Like we had Nigel. I will say I think I preferred seeing his show in the pub the previous year. I think if you saw it at the after party, you didn't really see it all. It was like that was like a trailer
Yeah, it
of
was.
what
It was only
they could
15
do.
minutes, wasn't it?
And then yeah, Mark Henry came out and said like a few words. Obviously, very weird because he's got a very convoluted relationship with AEW. But okay, like he's quite affiliated with this Switch and Disco thing because he does some of the after parties for WWE. So I've seen. So he came out, and to be fair, I thought like it was a good use of his time. He shouted out, "Man like DeReese,"
He basically
and
just used
gave
his
him
time to
his
say,
airtime.
yeah, he was just like, oh, hi everyone, welcome, man like Doris. And Doris came out and did some rapping. So fair dues, Mark Henry, not stealing any of the spotlight.
And then we had like the Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana DJ set, which was like, yeah, a bit of a DJ set, a bit of Swerve rapping, and then just like a host of. It felt like whoever the fuck wanted to come out on stage could come
Yeah.
out on stage.
Whoever
So
in the
it was pretty
AEW
fun.
roster was out for a party that night were basically there, I think, and just getting lit on stage. I totally forgot in the vlog to mention this, but Kip Sabian was also there.
Yeah.
And Gates Fagany were there, weren't they? And
Ricochet.
Ricochet, I can't believe I forgot to say Ricochet,
So
yeah.
many people.
I don't think I got him on camera, so I completely forgot. Was Rick Knox there as well, or am I tripping?
Yeah, Rick Knox was there, like right at the start.
Yeah, which was very strange. But that my highlight was seeing Mama Wayne in the flesh. Wow.
Yeah, she was
Wow.
I'm like, is this even a character at this point? Because this just
I
comes
know,
so
right?
natural to her. Like she's such a natural star. Like so much charisma.
Yeah, honestly, it's just I think she's just playing herself on TV. What a queen. But yeah, overall, like the Forbidden Door as a show was very good. And I know that obviously we'll have bit of a biased opinion on it because we were there live, but I do genuinely think it was a really good show. I know that we recorded like a little review, didn't we? And then we didn't end up posting it because I think we sort of rambled for too
Did
long
we?
when we were sitting eating our snacks outside Tesco.
Oh yeah. I think for me, like I said to you then, and I say it now, like to me the show lived up to expectations. So I had like a pretty good time and everything. That's not to say it was bad or anything. It was really good. But everything that I thought how I was gonna feel was how I felt. So my favourite matches were the Lights Out Steel Cage match. I enjoyed Hangman and MJF, and I really enjoyed how they played around with the ending because yeah, I think it was quite a difficult task to balance all the things that were thrown into that and to keep that believability that Hangman could potentially lose his title. I think that was very well done. And I really, really enjoyed Kyle Fletcher and Himuro Takahashi. I thought that absolutely banged. So yeah, I was really happy. And it the show itself, like the wrestling, met my expectations, but then, you know, like the seat location and the crowd and just the unpredictableness of Darby Allin and the ear spot, which we found out this was real tea from the girls' bathroom. You know, it's all
Oh my
kicking off in
God.
the girls' bathroom.
I
We
forgot
made a
about
friend
this, yeah.
with someone that had just come along with a boyfriend. She's like, oh, I'm loving it. She's like, I'm loving the show. Made a fan out of me. And then she was telling us about Darby Allin and apparently ripped his earring out on the ladder, and that's how his ear got tore open. And the fork spot was unplanned. So there you go, a bit of knowledge for you there. But yeah, that part, and also Wheeler Yuta being thrown off, and just those things did surpass expectations because
Yeah.
obviously I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, what about you? What was your favourite match?
I think I think Well, you said three, so I'll also say three. So I have two of the same as you. So MJF and the Hangman for just like storytelling reasons. I thought it was really strong. I have seen a lot of negative feedback about that online, and which I completely disagree with. But I'm not going to go into that because I'll be here all day. But I really enjoyed that match as well. The steel cage match because it was just chaotic. It had all our faves in it. I just also like being able to be there for Tanahashi's last match in the UK. I think was really special too. And for selfish reasons, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness, because that for me, like just getting to see them face off a little bit one on one last year when they were in the gauntlet was it was enough to feed me for a lifetime. So this was like I don't even know. It was just unreal. And I thought it was great. I think it's amazing that Nigel gets to end. Well, not necessarily that he's ended his career, but you know what I mean. Like he's now getting to take his career in a direction, and he's having the last say rather than it being ended prematurely. And I think that's just beautiful for him. So I really enjoyed that. I think that all the wrestling quality was absolutely amazing. I think that like what we said was there was just some. It just seemed like they didn't pull the trigger when they could have done on some story moments. So, and I totally see why in hindsight with watching this Dynamite, which we'll get into, like why they've done that because I think personally this Dynamite was fantastic, and the way they progressed some of the stories was just amazing, and I really enjoyed it. But at the time, it felt like okay, a missed opportunity. For example, Daniel Garcia. Surely that was a perfect moment for him to do something with his character, and we were just screaming at him, do something, stop being so boring. Wheeler Yuta, for example, just again being a bit of a mug, stringing me along. What else? Like no big returns, so apart from Wardlow, which was so weird, so
And Jamie
random.
Hayter,
Yeah,
which shows how much we care.
yeah, right. We were sat there thinking, oh, is Orange Cassidy going to come out to save Will Ospreay? Surely that massive angle with Will Ospreay was just a perfect moment for someone to make a huge return and just be the hero of the night and actually send people home happy. And I'm not saying it was a wrong or bad choice to end the pay-per-view the way they did with that, you know, the somber moment of Will Ospreay being seriously injured. I don't think that was necessarily a bad thing, but I do think it was an opportunity for just something to happen. Just one of those things that I've just described, like just one big oh my god moment. Not that there wasn't other oh my god moments on the card, but I hope you know what I mean.
Yeah, it felt like going into it, something about it met my expectations. It didn't massively like exceed them, but again, like I'd be like, it would be a top tier pay-per-view for me, like 9.5, 10 out of 10. Like I really
Yeah,
enjoyed it. But yeah, it felt like going into it, it's going to be an exhibition pay-per-view
yeah,
by the nature of it being cross promotion, and it felt like they didn't really want to take away too much from that. I also feel like there was quite a lot going on in the cage match, so in hindsight now I'm like, yeah, would you want to have a big return? Because does that take away from Tanahashi's last match? Because it kind of Tanahashi got the victory, and then you had the feel good moment, and then it might have been when the pay-per-view cut off air or just before it cut off air, you get the Osprey beatdown. So maybe they already felt like that's
they've done
kind of taken
enough.
away from Tanner's moment. So
Mm.
I don't know, but I agree. They definitely could have pulled the trigger on something, but it seems that they wanted to keep it for an AEW only brand pay-per-view. Um, but yeah, I think the only other thing I want to touch on before we start the review of Dynamite, because I should say it was very, very good, is that we also got the announcement that not only is AEW All In returning back to its rightful home of Wembley, Texas, you did a great job, but it's time to pass the baton back to the professionals in the UK. But also that we are getting a Dynamite and Collision in Cardiff and Manchester, respectfully, which is huge. Not only that, it's in December, December 17th, and that the tickets go on sale super soon, like
Like next week,
next week. Is it the 1st of August, the 2nd of August, or something like
September.
that?
Yeah, it's
September, fuck yeah, that's what I meant.
we're going back in time, baby. Yeah, no. It's like not give us any time to. This is like a trend with live events recently, and bands do this a lot. Where like they announce a tour, and it's like tickets are on sale tomorrow or next week, and it's like fucking hell. Like, okay, I need to get my finances together, bro. I don't like this trend now in with live events. Like, take it back to announcing it like months in advance. But very exciting, very, very exciting. And Manchester's super close to me, so and not as close for you, Estelle, but obviously a lot closer than London. So I mean, very
It's
excited now.
closer. It's like an hour or over an hour, but it's very convenient. It's obviously cheaper than London. It's a lot easier to get from the train station to the venue, which they also announced would be the Co-op Live. So it's just a lot more easier, and it'll also be like a one night affair sort of thing because it's not such a fast to get to Manchester. It's also the north, which is huge because we haven't had that. They've done Cardiff, they've done Glasgow, they've done the south, but they haven't done the north slash Midlandsy area. So I think it's a great way to dip their toes in. And then if this goes well, you'd assume that we might get more of a residency or more of a tour than just two stops. So yeah, I'm really hoping that I will be there. Obviously, it's a bit difficult as well because December in most jobs is quite a busy time period, and yeah,
Hmm.
it's not leaving the most time to save up for tickets. But obviously, I will be doing my all to be there, and I'm really excited because I haven't caught a Collision or a Dynamite. You know, they've done Collision last year and then Dynamite Collision this year. So I didn't get to catch either of those. So it'd be really cool to be a part of that because I'd love to see what that's like in comparison to a pay-per-view. And yeah, also it's like me and you, we were like, oh, gotta wait like another year, but it's really cool that it ain't even that far away. And sorry, I forgot to mention also that we're going to be getting the Continental Classic.
Hmm. You seem unsure. You doubting yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we are getting the Continental Classic. Sorry, my brain is like mush from work today, like absolutely fried. Um, but yeah, that's also mega. So I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I just Googled it to see if I can find out anything, and I can't see anything. But yeah, either way, huge, huge news. Very exciting. Amazing times to
Jay
be a
White is
wrestling
gonna win
fan.
it. He's gonna come back and he's gonna fucking win it, and then he's gonna ascend to the top, baby, to
Fuck
the
yeah.
heavens. You just know it's gonna be like
He's
fucking
gonna die.
Wardlow or something, man.
Yeah.
Wardlow's victory.
Someone in the Callis family. I mean, they've got enough members of it now that they can just take up the whole tournament, probably.
That's hilarious. They need like a Don Callis tournament separately. Who is the top dog of the Callis family?
Man, that would feed storylines for like a full year.
For realsies. Right, shall we get into the show, the
Let's
show
do it.
itself, Dynamite? Okay. Um, I can't really see in this lighting, so I might just adjust. For me, that's bright, but I am blind. Okay, so this is the start of the Philadelphia residency in the super historic, full of history 2300 building. And yeah, the debut week there definitely went hard, and it it just feels fucking right. Like
Yeah.
Darby Allin, Claudio Castagnoli, Falls Count Anywhere match in the 2300 building, like arena. Can you get any more like just it just felt right in my bones. The crowd was ignited, passionate. Um and yeah, the whole show was really top tier. I think there was like a few nitpicky things because I remember my rating for the show overall was a 9, spoiler, but I can't remember what those nitpicky things were, so we'll get to them, but I did rank it pretty high.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I really enjoyed this. I love how they set up the arena to sort of look as classic ECW as possible. I think that having a Falls Count Anywhere match in the main event was just it's what it's what ECW would have wanted, you know. Um, just everything about it. I just loved it. I loved how small and packed it looked. I loved the pacing of the show. I just loved everything about it. Genuinely, watching this was a pleasure. And I don't know whether it's just because I'm still riding the high of the Forbidden Door weekend and just feeling really optimistic at the moment, but genuinely like, oh, I just had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, we had Cash, Dax, Stokely coming out to mega, mega heat. A few technical difficulties to start and end the night. But yeah, they came out to address the miscarriage of justice in the freeway tag match where Brodito took up the victory. They picked on the ref Paul Turner, but he's not going to change his mind. And something kind of clicked for me seeing him. I don't know if it was the crowd reaction, how much heat they were generating, but I could finally, not finally see, because like, it's been clicking for a while, but I was like, no, actually, like, these are a great act because I genuinely do not like them and they genuinely do great on me and they are great heels. And I think as well that's in part to the match that they had, not just at Forbidden Door, but the one before that with Brodida, where it ended up with both teams being added to the title match. And I was like, yeah, I feel like they finally hit like their pacing with it. And before, I think it was just a bit awkward because it was like, well, who gets the mic? Because Dax is a great talker, Cash is a pretty good talker, and then it's like, well, why did they need Stokely too? Like, why do we need another? Like, if anyone needs a manager, it's bloody non-verbal Gates of Agony or a team like that, not a team that can talk and has some natural charisma. But I'm like, no, like this really does work. They are a good little package.
Yeah, I think that Stokely gives them some humour, and then that kind of helps them to play up to sort of like a little bit of a silly heel role, but at the same time, they are genuinely quite infuriating and annoying rather than just haha, you stupid sort of way, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. So I found this, I agree with what you said, like, it's just an entertaining segment. Them, the best heels are always the ones who are right. Because they are technically right with what they're saying to the ref, but obviously they're such unbearable people that you have to boo them. And I just thought, obviously them picking on the referee was just a great way to get them even more hate. And yeah, it's quite impressive how they like tread the line between being ridiculous but also sort of justified in what they're saying. It's just the way they say it was quite funny. So yeah, I agree with you. I like this.
Yep. So then that brought Copeland out. He came out very fired up. He did like a massive jump, like on like the ramp bit. I was like,
He
all
was
right,
emoting
Granddad,
like
calm
mad.
down. And then he was waiting for Christian. So you're like, this was great because you were like, oh, Christian, come out. What's he doing? Like, why is he doing that? But it was all an act because he snuck into the ring and was able to perform the kill switch on Stokely. A brawl then assumed, and this was an awesome, frantic start to the show. The energy was already palpable from the moment the camera started rolling. But the crowd were clamoring. They were clamoring for a fight, for a brawl, for bruising, and they got that right away. Security flooding the ring, which sometimes, sometimes with security in a brawl, it can just be like a bit lame and a bit like, I don't want to say performative because the whole fucking point of wrestling is it's performative, but
No, but
not
it's
not
obvious that
natural.
it's performative. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but this felt like I don't know, like the security were locked in.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, Christian says that Forbidden Door they took care of his problem, but now it's Cope's turn, which I'm like, did you? Because you didn't take care of Nick Wayne yet. So, but I guess Nick Wayne's injury is kind of cool because it probably works out in their favor because it's like, well, they can kind of put the patriarchy stuff on the back burner and now focus on FTR without having to tie up the loose thread of the patriarchy. And then when Nick Wayne comes back around, they'll probably be tag champions and they can maybe run a feud with Nick and Killswitch slash Luchasaurus or maybe even Jack Perry or Kip Sabian, so really it's unfortunate, but it's probably going to work in the favour of the storyline and of Nick Wayne because it's just going to keep amping up the excitement for when he comes and gets involved.
Yeah, exactly. It's worked out quite well. And I love the way that they transitioned to this story because it didn't feel at all jarring. The way that they built up to it is
Agreed.
like, yeah, Cope's got issues with FTR. It's sort of been on the back burner for a while they've been dealing with Christian's problem, and it felt totally natural and just the perfect progression for it to really. Well, it exploded on this show because they've not had to do any build for it. Like, well, they have built to it, but you know what I mean. Like, they've not. It's not like they're starting afresh with a new feud. So then with this, it was just a straight up brawl, and they've already announced the match for All Out, which I just love that. Like, yes, we're not wasting any time. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, it's totally flawed, especially given how it started with Christian's sort of tweener turn,
mm,
and it felt a bit like, oh no, like this isn't how people fantasy book this, but it's hitting its stride. So then we had Christian saying FTR have fathers, and Cope's like, no, we're not doing that. And then the crowd boo him, and then he's like, oh, you're all just a bunch of sickos. And Christian is like, and that bitch is dead. And this is like it's a great dynamic they've got of Cope trying to be like the astute, straightforward, straight-laced babyface, and Christian being the lovable heel, and the crowd playing into it, and then playing off the crowd, and it's a lot of fun. And so yeah, while it's kind of started a bit awkward with the frantic tweener turn, and you were like, what's going on? I feel like yeah, it's totally found its stride, both in storyline, but also like for them as characters too.
definitely, yeah. Um, I think it kind of highlights as well, like the weird thing about heels is like usually, I think with a great heel, it's like you don't really hate what they do. You want to cheer them. You want them to do it to people you hate. So, Christian, he's not changed as a person. He's not had a personality transplant. He's just the same person, but he's on a different side, which makes it's just so much more. It's just really entertaining because his act was always hilarious and great, but you hated him because he did it to the good guys, and now he's doing it to the bad guys. So it's very simple but effective, I think.
And I think as well that Christian's a star in his own right. And I think when people think of the Edge Christian reunion, that it's like kind of nostalgia baiting, and oh, they're gonna go back to what they were in the 90s. But I like that it's actually meeting them where they are now, and Christian isn't Copeland's lackey.
Yeah,
He is full
definitely.
of character in his own right, and why should he have to water himself down for like that nostalgia baity
Hmm.
kind of reunion that kind of is what happened to the Hardys? I feel like uh,
Yeah.
Matt Hardy, when they had the Hardys reunion, Matt's character kind of got watered down so that he could kind of become the version that he was with Jeff way back when it's more interesting, I think, to see the current version of the character that's probably outgrown their partner in terms of like character growth. And then that's really fun to see Copeland bounce off, and it's just a great dynamic. It's more natural, and yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. It's like he's got his own personality. He's got his own character, and he doesn't need to change and be exactly the same just because he's back in a team with Copeland. So yeah, absolutely.
Yes, so they will be having a match, I said it, All Out, which will be in their hometown of Toronto, I believe.
Awesome. Yes, that's
So
right. That's going to be amazing.
yeah. I was like, it's 50-50 between Toronto and Vancouver. I've got like a 50-50 chance here of getting this right. So, yeah, Team CNC, LOL versus Team FTR, the battle of the three letters. And yeah, that'll be a really entertaining match. I'm excited to see how they all bounce off of each other. And yeah, like I said, it's really cool that we're locking in All Out straight away. which is cool because Forbidden Door wasn't really like that. It was a bit
Mm,
more last minute haphazard because, you know, the biggest event of the fucking AEW calendar year had happened all in. So
mhm.
it's cool that going to All Out, we have direction and we're heading towards it. And it feels like they're almost happy about that because they know it's an AEW pay-per-view, so they know they can fire on all cylinders, which is making
Yeah,
me hope we get the big story beats there.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think that's going to be the case. I feel like even from now, it's quite clear what at least some of the matches it seems pretty obvious like what we're going to get, and it's clear cut, and that's great because we've been heading in that direction, and it's a clear destination. So yeah.
Destination unknown. So this was pretty funny. So we got like a Derby promo against Moxley, and this just really amused me. It opened up with him being like, to everyone who wishes I was dead. Sorry about that. It was like, what are you? I don't know. It's just bizarre. It's like it's really artsy promo that he's going after Mox to like Mozart while he's smearing the blood from his injured ear on a canvas to spell all out. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, on Mount Everest, I was crying over the dead bodies." Like, all right, trauma dumping. And then yeah, it was like all out from his. I was like, oh, this was obviously filmed like post match. Like, what did he get back? And he was like, "Guys, after he's like
Got this vision.
been thrown off a fucking cage through two tables. Guys, get a canvas. I'm gonna write all out with my blood." Like, what the hell, man?
It was the freakiest promo of all time. I loved it though, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was the delivery on some of the lines. Like when he said, "When I saw the dead bodies on Everest, I cried." Yeah, that's right. I cried. It's like so unserious. Like the way you're delivering that, it's so unserious. But yeah, he said he's going to take everything from Moxley, and you know what? You freaky little man, I believe you.
Freaky little man. Darby is a freaky little man. So, speaking of freaky little men, we had Mox, who's not a freaky little man, but Garcia, which
He's a
when
freaky
I
little
I
man.
said I was gonna say when I announced this match, but no, when I text you the announcement of this match, you were like, Twink Death, I think you called it,
Mm. Yeah, well,
which cracked me.
that's my initial reaction was what the f what the fuck? Why are we putting John Moxley in a ring with Daniel Garcia? It just seems like yeah, instant twink death. But you know what? I was proven wrong. I thought this match was absolutely brilliant. I thought that Daniel Garcia really showed like what a great wrestler he is. His technical skills were on point, so smooth. Garcia was trying to like take Moxley down by like targeting his knee, which I thought was a great story to tell throughout the match. Um, and Moxley did a fantastic job of just making Daniel Garcia look like $1 million, I thought.
Yeah, it was really good. I thought that they initiated this match because there is currently a gap at the top. It was weird because a couple of weeks ago we had an absolute stacked main event scene, and that was kind of a problem because it's like, fuck me, there's too many guys up here, and now it's like ghost town because of the recent injuries. And Jay White's out, been out for ages. Though Swerve Strickland, Osprey. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then we've just done. Clearly, though, he's going to come back with his contract, MJF Hangman, but we've just done that, so then it's like someone else needs to circle in now, and yes, I do feel like there is, which could be really positive. It could be really positive to pushing some people up from the mid card or the upper mid card into that main event scene. So I felt like this was kind of what that was. Is there anyone else that you can think of that you'd like to see get a push, maybe?
Not off the top of my head. Uh, well, you got to think that Orange Cassidy's going to come back soon if the rumors are true about him being cleared. Um, and talking of like big returns, someone like Eddie Kingston maybe. Obviously, Hook's just come back and he did a thing with Wheeler Yuta, maybe even Hook. Maybe Wheeler Yuta. I think it's they're pretty spot for choice with talent, but it's just like who do you trust? Who's
Yeah.
got enough star power to really like go all the way to the very top? Who do you think?
I feel like Garcia would be a good pick, but he would
Yeah,
definitely need to pivot his character. But if he pivoted his character, the momentum he could get from that would be huge. But obviously, I think someone who has mass amounts of aura and mass amounts of talent is Takeshita.
yes, I knew you were
And I
gonna say
think
that.
it's time that we push Takeshita up. Kyle Fletcher is obviously the other one, but he's got
Yeah,
the TNT title, which is awesome. But Takeshita, I mean, he did win the G1. Bless him. He's doing big things at the moment, and he's got a lot of momentum behind him. So I'd really like to see him go to the next stage. But I do think this is really important and really good that they are kind of running these tests, if you will, which they do quite often. They try to integrate the mid card and the main event scene by having these sort of matches.
yeah,
Even people like who aren't in the same divisions, like the respective matches Mox had with Jet Speed each week, was a good way of lifting that talent up. But I think this is really good of for Tony Khan to evaluate. I said the spoilt for choice, but it's who do you pick?
yeah.
Who can run it with the top dogs of the company.
hmm Yeah. Um, exactly. Exactly. And but the injuries and stuff, it's obviously bad, not good, people getting injured, but every cloud has a silver lining. It's a great opportunity for people to fill those gaps.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's terrible when people get injuries. It depends on the nature of the injury. Like if it's the case of twisting something or breaking something that can be healed and it's not going to have long lasting impacts, such as a head injury or a neck injury, or like with Kenny, diverticulitis, and they come back and it impacts their performance and they can't perform to their peak. Obviously, that's devastating. I don't see anyone get injured, but the nature of wrestling is there isn't any off season. So injuries kind of force a natural off season. And sometimes injuries are kind of a good thing because it makes people evaluate their career, it makes people more fired up to be back. It makes the crowd more appreciative for who they have, and it creates space on the card which otherwise wouldn't be created unless said wrestler retires. And given the span of wrestler careers these days, it used to be the case people were retiring in their early 40s, but now that's when most wrestlers hit their peak. So I do think that injuries are kind of a positive thing, but then also like it can be replaced with other things like going off and filming a movie, like MJF going off and filming like Happy Gilmore 2, and people doing other projects should be encouraged as well because that keeps them away from the ring, and then you don't get fatigue Jericho.
Yeah, 100%. No, you're absolutely right. Um, I was listening to Jeff Jarrett's podcast today, and he kind of said pretty much the same thing. And he said, yeah, as far as I know, Will Ospreay's like neck surgery is pretty much locked in. It's going to be very soon. And he was doing a moonsault off the top of the steel cage, and he went, just let that sink in for a moment. Which was very funny. He was like, I'm not criticizing him for doing that, but he said that's the style these days. That's the kind of rate that people are going at these days, where these injuries sadly do tend to get more common. So you know, having a little rest is not a bad thing. And he said, I hope that Osprey uses this as an opportunity to come back stronger than ever in the best shape of his life. Really come back with a strong neck. That's not the words that he used, but basically said he needs to really make sure his neck is stronger than it's ever been before. So yeah, in when you look at it that way, there certainly is weirdly positive things that can come out of a situation like this. But again, it's just like will Osprey ever be able to wrestle that same style again after neck surgery? Like we just don't know the extent of the injury or what the surgery is going to like um contain. So you just don't know.
Yeah, it's like how long's a piece of string. And a lot of these wrestlers have come from the indies, and a lot of them have been going for a very, very long time, performing this style for a very long time. It's not like they've just got to AEW
Yeah.
and that it's pretty crazy
We're
stuff.
so young as well. Like, yeah.
I also think like yeah, with the work rate getting faster and faster and people wanting more. The one thing that kind of worries me is Darby in the main event, and I was looking at
Yeah.
that, and I was thinking, obviously, Darby's a lost cause, bro. Like Darby's a lost cause.
There's
You
nothing you
can't,
can say to him that would make him
you,
stop unless he literally
yeah, you
dies.
can't talk sense into that man. That man is, yeah. But then I'm thinking, like, what are the wrestlers going to be like that are inspired by him? Because there must be countless
Yeah.
people, like young people. He's such a huge star and a mascot, and he'll probably be such a proponent for future wrestlers that will want to practice that specific style. It's just it's just a bit like I don't know. It's like what is the future going to look like? Like what is the career span going to be of people that practice that style versus someone who's an MJF kid and they grew up and they practice the MJF style.
Yeah.
Going to be going a lot longer, making a lot more money. But then it's like a double-edged sword 'cause it's like, dude, we're in the 2300 arena. Like, you gotta do some shit, and you can't complain. How can you complain then at like the spots he's doing when it's like, look at where we are. We kind of do have to go balls to the wall. But
Yeah.
oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? And it's not. It's no one's right, no one's wrong. I mean, if you're a CTE guy, you probably are in the right. So I can just hear my cat meowing. He's a CTE guy. But he's like, yeah, protect necks. But fuck man, I forgot what I was saying. No one's right, no
Yeah, yeah,
one's
yeah.
wrong.
It is
It's
what
the
it is.
choice of the individual, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It is it is obviously worrying when people get injured and stuff. But you can't you can't stop them doing what they want to do. So I'm just gonna have to stop myself from talking about Darby Allin because we'll talk about him later.
Okay, yeah, so anyway, Garcia, and there was also a lot of conversation online about people being really fed up with Garcia. People were pissed, man. People were like, look at that ring gear, like generic.
What a
Um,
weird thing to
so
beef about. Okay.
yeah, people are upset about it, but I kind of get it because like I do want a Daniel Garcia heel turn or some kind of
Mm.
movement, but then I do think he plays the character well, and the crowd haven't really turned on him yet. They're not really
No.
sick of the act, and in AEW right now there is a lot of heels, so
True.
it's kind of like I don't know, like do you really want to make another one? Is that the right way to go about it?
Yeah.
I mean, just let's just thank God that he's not in the Don Callis family vortex.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I did see someone theorizing online because after the match, well, Moxley won with like a small package basically. He stole the win. And then it kind of seemed it was a bit weird afterwards. I don't know what happened, but they had a bit of an interaction outside the ring. Um, where I don't know, it kind of looked like Mox like tried to kiss him or something. Obviously wasn't what happened, but it just that's what it looked like. And that caused some people to theorize like, what if he's trying to get Garcia to join the Death Riders because he's realized, oh, you're really good. And Garcia turns heel, joins the Death Riders. Obviously, he's got loads of heat with Wheeler Yuta, and that drives Wheeler Yuta out. I'm still on the Wheeler Yuta train. Choo choo.
I'm not a fan of that for multiple. I don't think that benefits Wheeler Yuta, and I don't think Yuta's strong enough to like go out on his own. I don't think that's the move, and no, I just don't. I think that might generate go away heat because that's what people were saying. People were like, "Oh, he's got Sammy Guevara heat. He's got Chris Jericho heat."
That's
Like
deeply offensive to me. That is
we hate
deeply
Daniel
offensive.
Garcia. I was like, "Damn, that's
I
when he's
mean,
serious."
I
When
wouldn't
he
say
says Sammy
like,
Guevara.
yeah, that is really, like I said, deeply offensive to me. Before, like, to be fair, I'm not huge on Daniel Garcia. Like, I'm not his biggest fan. He's not my favorite wrestler, but watching this match, I thought he was fantastic in this match. I do think his character is gone a bit stale, and I think he's blending in the background. I think maybe this match is a great opportunity to push him to the foreground a bit if they can do something interesting with it. I think that
So
turning
he's
heel on Nigel would have been the great opportunity to do that, but they didn't.
Yeah, that would have been one of the moments, and that's the thing. It needs to be a big moment. It can't just be a corny. No one believes in me. Meh, meh, meh. Like it needs to be a big moment. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. He was very confident and self-assured. He came in a more serious mode. He wasn't in his, which you can
Wrestling
tell
mode.
by how he emotes at the start. But he was dealing with a Mox coming off a Forbidden Door, who was pretty riled up and pissed off, very insecure. That's the feeling you get from Moxley at the moment. Is very
Yeah, definitely.
insecure, which is a dangerous place for him to be. Garcia crushing Mox against the barricade on the chair twice. We had Daddy Magic coming out, which look he pissed me off. I can't wait for his heel turn against Daddy Magic. I wrote because I was like, he's come
Yeah.
out serious mode. He's doing his stuff. I get that Daddy Magic neutralizes the Death Riders. I get that, which I did appreciate that the Death Rider interference was quite minimal and they just let the match flow. I think that made it a lot more enjoyable.
Hmm.
But just yeah, that is a majorly stale part of Daniel Garcia's act for me is
Oh
the
yeah,
affinity these two have. I'm like, he doesn't need this man in his corner fighting his
totally
battles.
agree.
He's not a young guy anymore. I mean, he is a young
Totally
guy. He's like
agree.
a few years older than us, but he's a man. He doesn't need his daddy in the corner. Like, what are you on about?
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Daddy Magic adds nothing to the act.
Yeah. So then I really enjoyed the simplicity but effectiveness of clawing Garcia's back. The simple brawler style, the slower pace. I thought it's better with Mox having something to prove than being a fighting champion,
Yeah.
because it before it's kind of like arrogance and it's just boring. But
Hmm.
when he's like pissed off and he's slowly, methodically pulling someone apart, it's more enjoyable and it's like the Mox of old. And it's
Yeah.
like he's regaining aura despite being on a
100%.
downward spiral.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, I love this version of Mox. Um, like the desperation and yeah, absolutely. I think it's way more dynamic than when he's just champion and he's super confident and yeah, it's a bit better when he's got something to fight for.
Yeah, it's more nuanced and much more palatable. We had Garcia landing the superplex. The paradigm shift, Garcia reversed into a single left Boston Crab was pretty good. He was holding his own. I said very technical. Mox with the DDT on the steps to Garcia. And the inside cradle was a super shocking way I thought for Mox to pick up the victory. And I wrote, will this show Garcia it's not about being noble because he keeps losing in these sort of fucky ways despite out wrestling his opponent. So is that going to be a proponent for his heel turn? Waiting for Daniel Garcia's character development is the same as waiting for Wheeler Yuta's
Yeah,
character development.
I know. It's never gonna happen, but you got your hopes up that it's gonna pay off at some point.
Exactly. Um, So yeah, so then Yuta was left with Mike, and he said that Mox isn't gonna waste his breath answering Darby's challenge. It's gonna be a no. Then there was a dispute, as you say, between Mox and Garcia. Then an ad break. Uh, the dispute, I'm not sure what's going on there. Obviously, he has acquired somewhat Moxley's respect,
Mm.
I believe. But yeah, I'm not into Garcia joining the Death Riders. I think he needs to branch out on his own. I
Hmm.
think that needs to be the thing is like, oh, people have doubted me and people this and people of that. And then if he joins a group, it just, I don't know, the arc doesn't feel complete because then he has to go through another arc of leaving that group. And I'm like,
Mm.
he's cooked enough, man. Take him off the grill and put him in the bun and serve him. He's cooked.
What a fantastic metaphor. That's so true. That is so true.
So then when we came back, Yuta was still popping off. I was into the Yuta crowd interaction and a monochrome of character motivation, which is nice.
Oh, wow, it's amazing to hear from him. Like actually hear his voice. Incredible. That in itself, groundbreaking stuff. But yeah, him, yeah, like you say, he was cutting a promo on the fans basically, and then he claimed that he slayed the American Dragon and replaced him essentially. And I just thought, hell yeah, we love this. A slither of personality. Give me some more.
And he's so over with the crowd. They
They
love
hate
to
him.
hate him. Like,
Yeah.
even at the start of Garcia and Mox, they were chanting, fuck you, Yuta. Like, the crowd just want to hate him. So
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, let him out there, let him talk, let him wrestle, let the crowd have what they're clamoring for. Because despite all odds, really, they shouldn't give a fuck about him, but they still
They
do.
do, yeah,
So, that says a lot, I think.
definitely. There's some juice there. There's some juice in the orange. They just need to juice it, you
That's a
know?
great segue because the lights then went out and people were like, Orange Cassidy! And
Oh,
it was Hook.
which is that's a shame for Hook because it is a big moment for him to come back. But yeah.
Yeah, so then we had some twink on twink action. I put instead of a cruiserweight belt, there should be a twink belt.
Yeah, they
The
really
twink
should.
division.
There's so many tweets. Ah, love that. $1 million idea.
Uh, so yeah, Hook, he's back for redemption. He makes quick work of Yuta. The theme as well. I don't know if that's gonna be his theme
Yeah,
going
it was very
forward.
different. Very unique.
I liked it. I like the vibe of it. Obviously, they used it during his like teasing video packages or whatever. But I'm not a music producer. I know as a wrestling fan, I'm a music producer. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a marketer,
Editor,
editor. I
business
know I'm a
expert.
promoter. Yeah, yeah, I'm everything. But I just think like they need to like oomph that a bit. Like, yeah, keep the beat, keep the tell the girls I'm back or whatever, and then like have some like hip hop like bass in there, like boom, unts, 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 unts. Tell the girls I'm back. Like, it needs a bit more. Why is that so cute? Right, Lucy's dead, so we're going to move on to MJF. Are you
Oh, have
okay?
you ever considered a career in music production? Because there's some real talent going on there. Oh,
I'm
I
just here
can't
to spin
even.
ideas, baby.
I can't even like address what you said because I'm just. Yeah, let's just move on.
Okay, so MJF, he had a promo, and this was really interesting and really good. And speaking of editing, they really popped off in this. Like the background is like dun 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 dun, dun. Like they really popped off on the editing this week. They were like they were really
We're
hyped
on.
from Forbidden Door. They were like, we're
Yeah,
going to 2300 Arena, and they were just like smashing it out in the production truck.
yeah. The
I
editing team
loved the
was on
line.
something.
I
Sorry, go
love the
on.
line, when I bleed, you say I deserve it. When Hangman does it, it's cowboy shit. I was like, damn.
Oh, I love pathetic MJF when he's like, "Why don't you people love me? You love him. Why not me?" I just love that. That's peak MJF.
Yeah, this was MJF crashing out. His sights are
Oh.
on Briscoe,
Mhm.
which also felt like because he was very heated for Matt Briscoe, and I was like, when are we going to get Briscoe's moment of catharsis? Because I thought we were going to get that at Forbidden Door, because Briscoe still hasn't had redemption for all the
No.
horrible things he said about his brother.
hmm
And I feel
So
like I've been gaslit into thinking that that happened, and I'm like, no, he never got his revenge.
no, they've had a few matches, haven't they? But he's never got that win over MJF.
And he said once he's done with Briscoe, he's coming for Hangman's soul.
Loved everything about this. No,
And it was
no.
like dun 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 dun, dun, I'm coming for your soul. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. Fair enough, bro.
Something in the air tonight on Dynamite. Everyone's extra levels
They
of
should be
insane.
they should be shattered. They've just come back
Yeah,
from
right.
UK.
It's probably like they're just gone delirious with jet lag.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many cans of Monster knocking about backstage. What do they have Monster in the America?
Yeah, they have Monster Dude.
Okay, just checking.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so then we had the tag match of Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus Chris Statlander and Harley Cameron, which I enjoyed this. I enjoy Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford together. I think it kind
Wow,
of
I
balances it out.
enjoy Megan Payne.
Yeah, with
Someone
Penelope
clip
Ford,
that. Someone clip
it
that out of context to tell I enjoy Megan Payne. Wow. Sentences I never thought were possible.
yeah, but you know what I mean? It kind of
Yeah,
humanizes her a
no,
bit.
definitely. No, they're
Oh,
they're
she's got a little
really a great
mate.
team. They're a great team. It's amazing what you can achieve when you put someone in a team like who matches their personality, but they're a great contrast and it balances it out. Yeah, they make a great team. I thought they looked absolutely fantastic in this match. I thought both teams did.
Yeah. Uh, but I did like Statlander and Harley Cameron together, don't get me wrong, but I put loving this, but what the hell is Stat's character arc? Because wasn't she supposed to go join the Death Riders, and now
Yeah, I don't understand.
that's just been totally blown over.
Well, I think they touched on it last week on Collision, but then obviously nothing's happened at Forbidden Door or on this week's Dynamite. So I don't understand what's happening with that either. I'm just a bit lost. I want to like it because I think it seems really quite juicy, but I don't understand.
I also enjoyed this because I thought everyone getting time helped this match. So rather than just
Oh,
Megan Bayne dominating someone for 10 minutes, it was everyone fighting, throwing their bodies at one another, super fast paced, super entertaining, and a real power struggle. And yeah, I thought that added to the match considerably.
definitely. I think they maximised the minutes that they had. Um, just thought overall it was a really great match. Like I've already said, I think both teams worked well together. I think there was some good double team offense. But yeah, you're right. Everyone got a chance to get their shit in too. So yeah, I thought it was really good.
Penelope tapping out is a shame, I thought, because you want to. It feels like she's always the chump in the team, and it'd be nice to see her have some
Yeah.
legitimacy. But then it's like, who takes it? Because you can't. Megan Bayne can't lose. Fuck me. Chris Statlander, she's going through some weird arc, and maybe they're doing that, maybe they're not. And then Harley Cameron's just come back, and she's got a bit of momentum, so I guess it had to be someone. But I also thought it was nice that the Stat got the victory
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
hmm Then we had
Don't have anything to
Bane,
add.
Megan Bane kicking it off, Stat holding her own, and then Willow coming out. And Harley Cameron able to mediate. The hug it out moment will go hard, and they better do the camera zoom, baby, when they do it.
Yeah, I know. They had a moment, and it's gonna happen. Harley's gonna make it happen.
God bless. God bless. Could it be a Christmas gift
In Manchester.
in Manchester, baby? So then we had Renee with the belts of the CEO hyping up Monet. What a sight. All these beautiful belts.
Hmm.
Beautiful Renee. Her hyping up her friend. It was just cute on it. Just cute.
Adorable. Yeah, the eyes were eating it all up. It was a beautiful scene.
So Monet just kind of highlighted that she wants to beat Ultimate Dragon's record for the most held belts during a belt collector tour. Renee talks about Alex Windsor making Monet tap, and Monet was like, "I wasn't legal." And I was swatting a bug, which was quite funny. And again, it was a very typical interview of Monet where she just wants to talk about her and her successes. And if something, I just love how delusional she is. Like if something happens, or like Tony Storm beating her, or Alex Windsor being a threat, she's just like, No, I want to talk about me. I don't want to have this conversation. It's very amusing.
You love a delusional queen. She's just like gaslighting us all, like, it didn't actually happen. Which, yeah, okay, girl. You can all power to you for doing that. Um, yeah, I thought this was entertaining, but I just thought, could we not have had like something, some sort of progression or like new information? I don't know. I get it, and I didn't hit. Like I said, I quite liked it, but that was just my thing. I feel like it didn't really achieve much.
I agree, it was quite vanilla. So after that, she danced to her music, and then I thought, oh, someone's going to come out and make a stake for the title, but that didn't
Yeah,
happen. And it just felt like, why?
yeah,
Why?
exactly. Just a reminder, guys, I'm here and I've got all these belts in case you forgot. But
Yeah.
I just will say, I think Mercedes is absolutely brilliant for the way that she is elevating so many women in the world of wrestling. And some people have tried to argue like, well, she's winning all the belts, she's burying them all, she's not doing anything for these companies. That is so not true. Like taking these belts on international TV every week, name dropping these companies every single week, name dropping these independent women's wrestlers, bringing like, you know, even at Forbidden Door, like three international stars to that huge pay-per-view. I think it's amazing, and she's doing. It sounds strange to say, but I think she's being very selfless in what she's doing. She doesn't have to go and work these indie dates and stuff. She's doing it because she loves wrestling and she wants to genuinely help them. That's the impression I get from it. And I know that people will disagree, like, oh, well, she's so selfish because she's got all these belts. I just don't see it that way at all. I completely disagree. I think I love what she's doing.
I agree, but I also think she's very ambitious and self-focused, and I say that in a nice way of like I think she does want to have the biggest belt collection of all time, regardless of gender, and that'll be quite an achievement and something that no one can ever take away from her. A fact is a fact, a stat is a stat. Also, I just had this really random fantasy booking idea.
Hmm.
Obviously, I think long term, what's going to happen is we're going to get the rematch of Tony Storm, Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné is the only person who can beat Tony Storm because she's the only person who's on similar star power.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Mercedes will win the belt. She'll have a reign for a bit, and then Athena will come back and I hope take the belt from Mercedes. I think that is what the long term goal will be. But I was thinking, do you think when she goes against maybe Tony Storm and say she did lose, what if or what if she wins, sorry? What if she puts all of her belts on the line? Like what if that's like a stip and that's how you get out of the belt collecting situation? Like what if it's like I'm putting all my belts on the line for the women's belt. That's how badly I want it. Because
oh
it's
my
like gotten
God,
under her skin that much. And
that'd
what if
be
that's how like
insane.
you dissolve all the belts? Because then all the little indie companies, not that every belt that she's got is from a little indie company, but then they could have like tournaments and stuff and build up and
Oh, so like
maybe
Tony
she
would,
loses like a few before to people, to like the big companies, and then does that. Anyway, sorry.
so like
Just
Tony wouldn't win them all, but she would lose them all if Mercedes lost. Is that what you mean?
yeah, they're both putting the belt on the line. So if Mercedes wins, she keeps all of her belts and Tony's belt. But
Yeah,
if Mercedes loses, she has to absolve all of her
yeah,
belts,
that makes complete logical
other than the
sense.
TBS,
That makes total sense. I can definitely see that happening.
because it's like high stakes, isn't it?
Yeah, biggest stakes
And it would
possible.
show like how badly she wants it and how much it's like under her skin that she didn't have the women's title.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that's tasty, baby. Book it.
That's tasty, baby. Um, then we had Matt Briscoe. Sorry, I can move on, Carter. Have we got
Yeah,
anything else to say about that?
yeah, no.
Mark Briscoe, his sentiments towards the building and the history that he's had there as he holds his tiny baby newborn son. And then he's like, take this and go.
about the child to someone else off camera.
Imagine just being born and you're placed in the hands of your father and he cuts a promo. That's wild, bro.
He has 9 kids. What on earth? Like, and also, he only just had. I remember him revealing his newborn not that long ago, a different newborn, and man, I don't even know what to say. There's nothing appropriate that I can say at this point, so I'm just not going to say anything.
Okay. Yeah. So he's just as fired up for MJF and also Kyle Fletcher. He wants the TNT title, which was a
Interesting.
cool ambition that he's got. So yeah, we'll see how those go down. I think that'll be a really entertaining feud because Kyle Fletcher is very MJF-esque. He's very arrogant and self-absorbed and probably will view Matt Briscoe as the underdog, someone for him to squash. And yeah, I think those two will play off each other really nicely. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. And it was kind of unexpected, but makes total sense. He'd want to go after a championship. Yeah, here for it.
So then we're supposed to have the 8 man, but Callis interrupts with Wardlow, clap if you care. And he introduces Hechicero, Josh Alexander, and Takeshita. Who can we just talk about? Takeshita had like the peak aura, man, when he came out in that beautiful. I don't know what you call it, a coat, a gown. That's not the word. A robe. A
Rob,
beautiful robe and his beautiful mask. And oh,
everything
crowd
about
were
him.
going crazy.
Just
Wow.
beautiful.
It's beautiful, man. And then, but what I didn't get is Okada was introduced by Justin Roberts. So
Yeah,
why wasn't he introduced by? Is that because he's like the favorite of Don Callis, so he gets like a preferential special introduction? I didn't get it.
I didn't understand that either. I feel like he's definitely deliberate, but what are they trying to suggest? Like he's not really part of the family, or he's the best in the family, or yeah, I found that quite confusing.
So then they were up against Jet Speed, Brodida, and who were the other people? Because I haven't written them down.
It, that's it. It was Brody and Jet
That's
Speed. Yeah, it was
I
4 on
can't
4.
count. I was like, I thought there was 8 on 8. Like, I don't.
8 on 8. Oof, that'd be a lot. 16 man.
So yeah, the Callis family ensemble. Yeah, because Wardlow wasn't wrestling, was he?
No, he was
Which I
sort
thought
of
was a choice.
Don Callis' like bodyguard type of situation, wasn't it? He didn't really leave his side.
Which I thought was a real choice 'cause it's like he's just come back. Like, surely you want to get him in the ring
Yeah.
and keep what little momentum this man has. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't get that. I thought, what is the point in that? What is like almost cooling him off?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand because he had nothing. He gave absolutely nothing, no personality, not even like, oh, I'm really dangerous and brutal in the ring, just literally nothing.
Yeah, fuck all. Uh, So yeah, we had the really awesome moment though of Okada and Takeshita facing off and a bit of tension there. They were able to work together for a little bit. Brody Cannonball sent on the high spots, especially the ones that Jet Speed did, were crazy when you consider how close the barricade was to the ring, the
Yeah,
smallness of the
absolutely.
venue. It's pretty mad because not a lot of room for error there at all.
No, absolutely not. That reminds me of sorry, this is probably has nothing to do with that, but that reminds me of that Michael Oku spot from this Saturday
Oh
when he
my
got pounced
God.
over the top rope and landed on his head. No one caught
Oh,
him. I really thought he died at that moment. And sorry, I keep on talking about Jeff Jarrett. I'm obsessed with him. He lives inside our brain, but he mentioned this on his
he's a
pod. Like
worm inside of our.
he is. He was like, yeah, that could have gone really wrong. Like he was appalled by it, just as the same. He had the same reaction as us. So yeah, sorry, off track a bit there.
But then you feel bad for these people because it's like they so clearly want to impress,
Yeah.
but then they end up doing like these super high risky spots, and it's like, God, like I get that you want to impress, but you're here because you have impressed. Like
Yeah,
you've
right.
already
So
impressed
true.
to have earned the spot. So, like, yeah, go all out, do your best. But my God, that was excessive.
It was, yeah. I don't know if it went wrong or what the fuck happened, but I'm just glad he's not hurt. Um, but anyway, yeah, I'm glad no one's hurt in this match either, because yeah, they really did go balls to the wall in this one. It was a great match.
So Josh Alexander landing a roll up on Mike Bailey after a failed shooting star press knee drop, which I thought was a really weird ending. I don't know if it was just me. Like I thought Josh Alexander getting the win, the roll up, like we'd already had like uh, the small package victory earlier, and then just the shooting. It just felt very abrupt. It didn't feel like it was supposed to be the finish, but I don't know if that was just me.
I wouldn't say I got the impression that like it was like unplanned or anything, but I do think yeah, it was certainly a choice to have it happen that way when you already had, like you say, a similar finish earlier on. I, and certainly a choice to have Josh Alexander pick up the win, but I can also sort of see why, because is he has the lowest star appeal slash quality of the Don Callis family. So you need
But it's
something to
just
stand out.
gaslighting. It's just gaslighting, though, innit? It's like, oh wow, we won this match. Fuck
He's
me, biggest star.
amazing.
Like that's not. Are we dumb? Like no, that's not how it works. I
Hmm.
think I get it. You had to have the Callis family win because you've got Wardlow in now, and you know what they should do with the Callis family? They should have all the low tier shit people form a separate faction where they're like, we're not being treated right, and then they go become like the losers and they have like a comedy act. Sorry, that sounds really harsh,
Wow,
but
just really bury them.
I feel like we're not getting a lot of juice out of the grape. So like let's whatever we need to do to get the juice out. Like those TikTok videos where they squash things. Like I don't know what I'm on about, but I know what I mean. But my point
Yeah, I
being
know what you mean.
anyway, my point being anyway, they don't have to be a comedy act. They could be a serious pissed off act. I don't know. It depends how much star power they have. I don't know. But my point being that I'm trying to get to is I get it. You had to have the Callis family win because but I think that the Okada Takeshita stuff and the infighting, which is what we've wanted all along, we want Takeshita Cal Fletcher and we want Okada and Takeshita. That's the sexiness. I want Okada
Hmm.
beefing with Cal Fletcher. I want them all beefing to be Don Callis' favourite boy. I want Don
Yeah,
Callis to make a big deal out of it. Like, this is my
you've got to
favourite. I want it to
impress
be
me.
a thing. Yeah, with a Don Callis tournament. Trust me, I'm
Yeah,
cooking. Just
yeah.
hand me the book because I'm cooking tonight, baby. But my point that I still haven't gotten to is that the Okada and Takeshita thing should have played into the ending, and their tension and them not being able to
Yeah.
work together should have led to them losing.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. At least that sort of seems to be going somewhere. Like we had some tensions between them today, and I think that's a good start. I'm happy for that to sort of be a slowish burn as long as we get somewhere with it. But no, I agree with you. It would have been great if that would have caused them to lose, then it's you know just moving a bit faster. That would have been a nice story to tell.
I think the thing is with the Callis families, there's just a lot of fat on the meat, which is disgusting because I don't eat meat and I never liked fat on the meat. But sorry, what the fuck you on about? But
No, I know what you
like
mean.
you could cut it down to a sirloin steak. Like you just cut out the shit and the nasty parts, but instead it's just a big rump steak, man. Like what the hell? Like just edit it down. Like you know what the good parts are, and I get it. Oh well, I want to be a nice person. I want to give Josh Alexander and Wardlow a push because I want to be nice. It's like yeah, but nice don't put butts in seats, does it? Like come on, let's just have some common sense. Josh Alexander ain't gonna be a draw.
No, he probably.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It then is that going to happen ever? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. So yeah, I
Don't
take
mean
your
there's not
point.
a place for him. It don't mean there's not a place for him. So maybe he's not as a comedy job, but it don't mean there's not a place for him. But Like it feels like there's just a lot of crap and it's overshadowing the good stuff. Like
Yeah.
fuck me, it's Okada and Takeshita facing off, and yet to get to that, I've got to go through all this other crap. Like just give me the good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Sorry, I'm ranting, but I really love Takeshita, so that's why it's personal for me.
You got passionate feelings because it's personal.
Exactly. If it was like he was in a group of other people, I'd just be like, oh, whatever. Like I don't really care. Like Ricochet, right? I do like Ricochet, but he's not my favorite. So while I think him with the Gates of Agony is just boring as hell, but I'm like, do you know what? I don't really ride hard for Ricochet, so I'm like,
You don't
okay.
care.
But like Takeshita, I take that shit personally.
Mm-hmm.
That
It's
wasn't
not,
a
yeah.
personal attack on me.
Yeah. I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel.
So then we had Hangman coming out and he cut a really nice babyface promo thanking Osprey and his well wishes for his surgery and that he comes back and challenges him. And I mean, hopefully, the best case scenario is that he does have the surgery, heals up, gets that neck strong for Jeff Jarrett, and
Mm.
that next year at Wembley we get Osprey Hangman and he gets that victory
Ooh.
because he absolutely deserves it from the work rate he's put in.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that'll be a brilliant full circle moment if it can work out that way, if it can line up.
So then after he sent his well wishes to Osprey, he spoke to MJF. But then Don Bloody Callis, and I love Taz, he was like, I think we've had enough Don Callis. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, Taz. I think we have had
Thank you,
enough Don Callis.
Taz. Thank you, Taz. Speaking the truth.
He's like, I want the title for my family. Yeah. So then they all came out, all the drifters. Hangman tries to launch a surprise attack, which was intelligent, but he's outnumbered until Speed, Ball, Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight come out. There's a pipe that's used, I believe, on
Hmm.
Speedball's ribs. And then Kenny Omega came out, which was really cool, actually. Really, really cool because then they got to have their reunion, especially all the tension that they've had. That's long-term storytelling, baby. It
Love
was like he
that.
finally accepted Hangman. It was really
Yeah,
sweet and real cute.
it was so sweet. It was heartwarming. Yeah, loved it.
Then we had a really hilarious promo of Tony with her girlfriend, Mina Shirakawa,
Yeah.
who's coming after the leftovers of Athena. And Athena cut a great one back, referencing all the ECW legends. Very hype. Death Before Dishonor looks sick. It's on this Friday. It's on tomorrow. And it looks really, really great. And that match is absolutely gonna bang.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I will have to try and catch it if I can.
I think the thing about ROH is it still didn't really feel like you have to watch it, but they've done a great job at getting a lot of hype for their special events and their pay-per-views, and those do feel very much must watch, which is a great step up, I think.
Hmm. Oh, definitely, definitely. Yeah, I think especially with having Athena on AEW programming has been an excellent step for Ring of Honor.
So then we had Ricochet with the Gates of Agony versus Ops for the Trios title. Ricochet, it's pretty simple. Like Ricochet and the Gates of Agony were able to gain an advantage before the ad break. The Ops, I thought, were on top form. All
Hmm.
three of them performing to a super duper high standard. And MVP was able to use his cane on Ricochet, which led to the Ops victory, the Kikina clutch for the win. And the Hurt Syndicate sort of bring the Gates of Agony to the back, which I thought would lead into something like later on in the night we were going to see a clip of him beating the shit out of him or something, but there was never anything about that. So God knows what happened there. I guess we'll see on Collision or next week on Dynamite. I don't know.
Yeah. Either they had a little cuddle and maybe sat in a meal, or they beat each other up, and we'll just never know. It's a
Yeah, they just got
mystery.
it back and just burst out laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, I'm just kind of like, yeah, this works, I guess. Like, yeah, But I don't really, I don't know. I'm just not convinced at all that Ricochet and the Gates of Agony are like a legit sort of opponent for the Hurt Syndicate in terms of like, do I think they could really beat them? No. But, and also, how does it work? Because they're both meant to be heels. Um, but I'll keep an open mind, see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll probably get some kind of pace when MVP and Ricochet both get on the mic and are able to have a talky talk with each other. I think that'll definitely heat it up a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense, and it is like long-term storytelling because yeah, they did snub him when they first arrived. So yeah,
Mhm.
it does definitely make sense, but the Gates of Agony kind of weigh it down because there's no flavor, man. There's no personality. It's like Wardlow. There's nothing there.
What's
There's just
their
vacuous.
character? What's their character? There's
They're the
nothing.
Gates of Agony.
You can't think
That's
of
it. They're
any
just the Gates. It's like
adjectives to,
Wardlow. What the hell's
yeah,
Wardlow? He's just Wardlow, babes.
exactly.
There's
You just can't
nothing
think,
there.
there's no adjectives to describe them. There's no defining qualities. Like if you said to me, "Oh, who are the Gates of Agony?" I'd just like, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't know where to start. There's nothing. There's no flavor. There's no seasoning. It's the equivalent of like an unseasoned chicken breast. And I don't know why we keep on using these meaty metaphors. Neither of us eat meat. But we keep on coming back to eating meat. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, man. It's
But
just chicken
anyway,
breast and rice,
yeah,
and then
and
they put
broccoli.
on fucking not even the broccoli, man. And then they put on Ricochet's freaking stupid three-piece suit and like act like that's a person. Oh, it's such a shame because I feel like the Ricochet having lackeys could have been so great, and we were theorizing who it was going to be, and it was so exciting because it thought it like the hope is that he drags someone up, but it almost feels like they drag him down because like he's kind of not that he can ever be dragged down because like Ricochet is quite a he's quite a big character and he gets a big reaction, but then they're not adding anything whatsoever.
No, they're not. And it does feel like, I don't know, I feel like we've not heard from Ricochet. Like, he's not been, I feel like I've not seen much from his character, like, much. I do think it's watered him down a little bit.
Yeah, like even him could have done something though. He could have been like a dictator, and he could have been like, "Do this for me, do that," and then maybe the Gates of Agony. Yeah, the bland as hell. But maybe you'd feel a bit of empathy. You'd be like, "Oh, these
Yeah.
NPCs, man, they're getting treated badly. That's a bit sad, in it."
It's not even
But
that.
no, man, it's not even that. But hey ho, let's go to the main event. Claudio Castagnoli versus Darby Allin for the false count. I don't know what that says. The false count anywhere match, which was
Oh,
hilarious. It was
oh,
absolutely. I mean, how
you
did you feel
know,
about that? It's like your fave against someone that you enjoy seeing getting beaten up. So
this was
you
euphoric
must have had
for
a
me.
hoot.
Yeah.
Euphoric.
Yeah, I would describe this as a euphoric moment. I would describe this as a highlight of my life. Watching this was just so enjoyable. I just loved it from start to finish. I loved everything about it. I loved Darby. I even loved Darby Allin spawning out of absolutely nowhere to jump on Claudio right at the beginning. I loved Claudio like launching him in a shopping trolley. I loved him smashing him through a TV for no reason. I thought Darby Allin's climbing ability was really impressive. He was like a little monkey, like a little spider monkey. And I fucking loved the part when Claudio just yeeted him over the top rope into the
Oh my
commentator's
God.
desk. That's the best thing I've ever seen in my whole life. I mean, he just made that look effortless. That is, I know Darby Allin's not a very big person, but still, that's a fully grown man. He's throwing him with no effort. The distance he covered, and then the clatter he made when he hit that desk, just insane. I loved it. Just chaos. This was like, it was hilarious, but also like violent, and it just gave everything. It gave me everything and more.
Oh, it's just the way that spot. He didn't even try. He has no sense of like pers not perseverance, preservation. He has no sense of preservation. He just didn't protect himself at all. He just ragdolled
He
himself, like
doesn't.
just
That's what he does. It's like you know, when you're a kid and you sort of learn to put your hands out if you fall over. He didn't learn that when he was a kid. He sort of skipped that part of his uh development, brain development. Because
the
even
Sims man. He has 0 on the motor skills one.
yeah, exactly.
He didn't get to level 5.
But you know, at the end as well, um, just skipping ahead a little bit to this point, he was running away from the Death Riders, and he just chucked himself over the barricade to get away from them. Even just doing that, simply jumping over the barricade, there was no grace with it at all. He jumped head first and just flopped over the barricade. It's just like case in point. He doesn't know how to. Maybe not that he doesn't know how to. He just doesn't want to protect himself. He has no desire to do that. He just ragdolls himself
I
everywhere.
think he's fucked himself up that so bad that he needs the adrenaline. Like
Yeah,
he needs to get fucked up to continue through a match is kind of what it feels like because like he's come from Forbidden Door to now this. Normally, even when people don't have a violent match, normally if they just have a long match, they don't appear on the next week's Dynamite.
yeah,
Like that's not a thing. They usually take a week off. Never mind being in that kind of match, but it feels like yeah, it's just what his body knows, I guess, from
mm,
the high adrenaline like skating, and that's kind of
yeah,
his way of doing things. But it's not good in the long term.
yeah. I do. I worry about his neck and his head, for instance. I feel like a concussion's
Really,
probably gonna fuck him up.
really,
But
you think?
also as well, like he had his ear taped up. But considering the bumps he took, like on Sunday, I feel like there was limited sort of selling of that. And then the shit he took from Claudio, and he just kept on kicking out and he ended up winning the match. I was a bit like, yeah, I know that's his whole thing. He's, oh, he's an adrenaline junkie. Oh, he's so resilient. Oh, he's so tough. He's a crazy person. He always kicks out. But I just was a bit like, fucking hell. Turn it down. Could we just turn it down like a notch? If you're going to win the match, could we just taken one of those crazy bumps out? Like, I don't think he needed to go through the table, for example. Could we have taken that bit out? I don't know. I just didn't feel like that it was very. I don't want to be that person who's like, because I find it very annoying when people are like, oh, I didn't sell that well enough. But I guess that's kind of my point. I don't know.
I think for me, I found it kind of hilarious that Claudio didn't take a single bump in this. Like,
I
yeah,
know.
couldn't Claudio have taken one of the bumps?
Yes,
Couldn't
exactly.
Claudio gone in the shopping trolley and through the chairs? Like, it was hilarious. Like, Claudio took nothing, and then Darby just won at the end, and I was like, this makes no sense. Like, Claudio took
Exactly.
no damage. His health bar was full.
Exactly. This is what I mean. Yeah. Um, I think Claudio went through a table and then he took, was it 3 coffin drops at the end, and that was it. That was the only offense he took, which yeah, obviously it's 3 finishers that's gonna in theory end a match. I get that. But it just I didn't really buy it.
Yeah, but having said all that, it was a lot of fun. It was
It was great. I
peak
loved it.
ECW.
I still loved it. I still loved it, despite
Yeah,
what I just said.
it was peak entertaining, and it was just nonsensical and fun. But I do think as well that even Darby, I feel like there was several moments during this where he got a bit blown up. So he went through the table and he literally sighed. He literally goes, and then there was another point where he was outside near the barricade. And he was like, just 1 second, just 1 second. And he was like, like crippled up in pain. I was like, oh my God. Like I know you were like, I don't think he was selling. I was like, I think he was selling. I think Mans was in genuine pain. But like I say, I think he kind of gets off on the pain. Like the pain is what pushes him through
Yeah.
in a weird way. And people do that as like a gimmick, like strong style of he's being lit up. He's getting fired up.
He's
But like with him, no,
absorbing
like
the
he's
chop.
genuinely Yeah, but he's genuinely
It's real.
getting the shit kicked. Yeah, he's getting the shit kicked out of him, and it is actually
And he loves
amping
it.
him up. But
Mm,
Darby Allin, man, you belong in the 90s. You belong with New Jack and Sandman. This isn't your
yeah.
time. This is
Yeah.
just crazy, man.
Born in the
But
wrong
I love that we've
generation.
got him in a way. Like, I love that like, something would be missing without him.
It definitely. The best thing about AEW is that it's a variety and you have every different type of wrestling that you could ever want. And he is the perfect encapsulation of bringing the sort of extreme deathmatch version of that. And thinking of that, I do think that like the top guys in AEW are the top guys because they can do it all. So John Moxley, for
That's
example,
so true.
can do the death matches and he's brilliant at that. That's probably what he thrives at, but also he's a very good technical wrestler. He can do the brawling style, for instance, and Hangman as well. Swerve, just people off the top of my head. So yeah, I
But
think
can Darby
Darby.
do it all though? Because every match has to be Darby's style.
Yes,
Like I can't
exactly.
imagine watching like a technical Darby match or
One where he doesn't take a death-defying bump and it's got some sort of oh my God moment. Like I can't. I might be wrong, and I don't think I've gone back and watched the Darby Allin. Actually, I think I watched recently Zack Sabre Jr. versus Darby Allin. Am I getting that mixed up with something else on YouTube? Because I was like, what the hell is this? Which was actually, if I'm remembering right, quite a good match. Um, yeah, yeah, it was. So maybe he can, but I feel like in AEW he's sort of made it very much his personality trait to jump off things. So maybe he's more
yeah.
well-rounded than he lets on, but I do, I think like he's made an archetype of himself, and that's his thing. That's clearly what he enjoys doing as well.
Yeah, it's difficult to reconcile Darby Allin, especially for us, because I'm sure there's people out there and, like we know there are like a lot of people and they're like, oh, he's my favorite wrestler and stuff. But for us, it's like it's difficult because I don't hate him. I don't love him. I want to love him. I want to wear a Darby Allin top and I want to be that person. But just the way he goes about stuff to me, like intelligence is a big thing for me in all
Yeah.
faculties. It's like it's a big attraction point for me.
Yeah.
And the intellect is not intellecting. I'm afraid. Like
Yes, I completely agree. Completely agree, and that's kind of what I was thinking too. He just, and no one's gonna get this reference, but those who get it will get it. He kind of seems like a set three kid,
that's
like
so harsh.
bottom set,
But
sort of like
hilarious.
I'm gonna jump off a roof in school for no reason. That's kind of the
You could have
vibes.
said set four though, but you said set
Well,
three.
in my school, set three was bottom set, so because we had
We
quite a
had
small
four.
school.
And there was like four kids in set four.
Right.
That's like bottom of the barrel. Do
If
American
that,
schools have sets? Please
if
let us
that's too
know because
mean,
I
you
don't know that.
can edit that out if that's too mean, but
It's
yeah.
funny. It's funny. But yeah, do American schools have sets? Like in the UK, in secondary school, it goes from one to four, and one's like the most intelligent, and obviously then they tailor the stuff based on who they're teaching. Or like if it's like set three, set four, they usually have like a lower grade boundary test. Um, so yeah, are you all of you just mixed into one class? I'd like to know that. But
Yeah.
locking back in, I really liked the spot. I mean, I didn't like seeing it when he got launched through the table, but I loved the chaos that ensued because then it literally fucked commentary. So for a good 5 minutes there was no commentary, but I thought that really added to the match.
Yeah,
It really made it feel lawless and exciting.
I loved that. Yeah, me too. Because I loved how they replayed that spot over and over again without commentary. It made it seem like a big serious moment. And personally, I replayed it about 20 times. I couldn't get over that visual. I just thought it was brilliant. But Claudio, absolute goat, setting up the commentary team again.
That was the funniest bit for me.
This is a man who respects the commentary team.
Absolutely. And then also, what also popped me was the singular random tweet that came up during the technical difficulties that was like, does Darby Allin always have to do a spot where he's going to die? Like, I don't know if you saw that, but just one tweet came up
No. What, like
on the
on.
stream. Yeah, like in the corner. And it was like, does Darby Allin always have to do a death-defying spot or something? Lol. And then
Oh
like it
my
was on for
God,
like
what the
15 seconds
hell?
and went away. I was like, why are we getting live tweets? Like, what the hell is going on?
Oh my God, someone in the editing crew is wilding. I
It
did
was
not
wild.
catch that.
So yeah, it was the coffin drop for the win. And then Gabe Kid
Dropped
attacking
Darby Allin on his
Darby.
head.
I thought that was a bit lame. I'm really over the Gabe Kid stuff, and
Yeah,
I'm just
same.
really over like just people attacking people after a match. I just feel like I've seen too much, especially with the Death Rider stuff and then the Callous stuff, and I'm just really bored of it, man.
Yeah, me too. Totally
Seeing
agree.
it 5 times in one show. I understand it's like that's wrestling, bro. People come out and attack people, but I don't want to see it every match ending someone coming out and beating someone up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I totally agree with you, especially because yeah, we have it with the Callis family and the Death Riders, so it just sort of feels a bit, oh, this again. Great. It sort of takes away
Get a
any
load of this guy.
it takes away any sort of like shock factor with it as well. So yeah, and Gabe Kidd just dropped Darby Allin straight on his head. If he wasn't hurting already after that match with Claudio, he was definitely hurting after that. Um, yeah, and then Moxley joined in too. The gang, the gang's all here.
Gang is all here. Do you know that character in SpongeBob that's like, I think it might be in a wheelchair and it's like a brown little worm with no eyes?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like Darby's going to be like in 40
Oh my
years.
God. Yeah, the
Like,
it's the old granny who likes eating chocolate.
yeah. Sorry.
That's
This is the
Darby
brain rot
Allin.
episode. Right, anyway, yeah, Darby is fighting
Very.
back and he flees and he's pursued by Gabe Kidd and apparently that went onto the streets. But again, we didn't see
Oh,
any
did
of
it?
that. Well,
I
that's
did
what they
not
said
know
because he
that.
went out the door and Gabe Kidd followed him out, but we didn't see that. But I liked at the least that he had, I say he didn't have self-preservation, but that was nice. It was a bit of a change in pace to see him escape because that's
Yeah.
not very Darby either to run away from a fight. So I was like, okay, that's some maturity, I guess.
Character development. Wow, he can finally recognize when he's in danger.
I don't know because now I've ran through that. I'm like, nah, I don't know what I got a 9 from, but I'm thinking more 9.5 now.
I would agree with a 9.5, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, it's obviously like not perfect for the reasons that we've discussed, but I think it was a pretty solid episode.
maybe Wardlow, man, he just at the gates of agony. I don't know what we're
Mm.
getting to me, but yeah, 9.5. It was
But
really
nine's
solid, really
still
fun.
very
I'm
high
looking
anyway.
forward. Yeah, it is super high. And I'm really looking forward to the residency. I'm so glad that we've got a little bit
Yeah.
more to go
I
because
love
it's
that.
absolutely banging.
I love the like the residency stuff where it's like, oh, I love this venue. That's been a banger, and then it's like, oh, we're having this a few times. I think that's really nice. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's it. We've covered everything. We've covered
Come
Dynamite.
down to York. Come down to Millthorpe School and have a residency there. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it fits about 100 people at a very maximum in there.
That'd
Thanks,
be peak.
thanks for reminding me of that because I am actually commentating in Leeds tomorrow night.
Oh, yes, you are.
A very last minute thing, but that's kind of True Grit affiliated. So they've got a nasty authority figure character going on, and he fired two like a top well, what a fan favorite tag team, who've then gone on to start their own promotion. So I'll be commentating at the Nash Boat Show tomorrow in Leeds. So if you're in the area and you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, do get your tickets for that. The link's on my social media, so you can find it or just Google the Nash Boat Show. I'm sure you'll find it. So yeah, that's it for our Dynamite review.
Aye.
So hopefully, if you're new here, thank you for listening. Hopefully you stick around.
Don't know what that'd be like as a first impression episode. Either you're gonna love it or hate it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And yeah, thanks for listening to our brain rot. Maybe we should rename it the Brain Rot Podcast. And also we are on Spotify if you want to listen offline, or if you're listening on Spotify, we're also on YouTube if you wanted to have a little look. So
Visual. We're very pretty.
yeah, exactly. That's the
I don't know.
that's the appeal of the YouTube. I think it actually
Our
is
lovely
a video
smiling
on Spotify
faces.
too.
Yeah, we do. We put a video up on Spotify. We're everywhere.
We're absolutely everywhere. So
We're in
do
your
follow.
walls. Sorry.
We're inside your brain. We're a worm, like Jeff Jarrett.
Would you still love me if I was a worm inside your brain?
Yeah, I love you. I'd love you even more. So anyway, subscribe if you haven't. Follow on Spotify if you haven't. Leave a 5-star review. That'd be banging. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Maybe if you stick around. Don't blame you if you don't.
I must bid you adieu, goodbye, you rock, and good night, bad.
I wish you died in the womb!